Every language has words you're not supposed to say. Words that feel stronger, more emotional, more dangerous. We call them curse word, or swear words, or bad word. But have you ever stopped to wonder why? Why do certain words become taboo while others don't? And who decides which words are bad in the first place? The interesting thing is this: there is nothing inherently bad about a word. Words are just sounds. What gives them power is meaning, and more importantly, social agreement. To understand how words become taboo, we need to look at what societies care about most. Because taboo words tend to form around whatever a culture finds most sensitive. Historically, many of the earliest taboo words were tied to religion. In deeply religious societies, invoking sacred names casually was considered disrespectful or sinful. That's why many early curse words were religious in nature. They weren't offensive because of the sounds. They were offensive because they violated something sacred. As societies changed, so did taboos. In many cultures, especially in the modern era, religious taboos weakened, but new sensitivities took their place. Sex, the body, bodily functions. Words connected to these topics became the new bad words, not because they were dangerous, but because polite society didn't want to talk about them openly. Then there's another category, social harm. Some words became taboo because they were used to insult, dehumanize, or marginalize groups of people. Over time, society recognized that those words caused real harm. So the taboo wasn't about politeness, it was about impact. What's fascinating is that taboo words aren't universal. A word considered extremely offensive in one culture might be harmless in another, and words that were once shocking can become completely normal over time. That tells us something important. Taboo words don't exist because of language, they exist because of culture. Your brain treats taboo words differently from normal words. Studies show that hearing a curse word activates emotional centers of the brain more strongly than neutral language. That's why swearing feels intense. It's also why it can feel relieving. When people swear after getting hurt or frustrated, it's not just habit. The emotional spike can actually reduce perceived pain and stress. In a strange way, taboo words act like verbal pressure valves, but context matters. The same word can feel harmless among friends and deeply offensive in another setting. That's because taboo words are really about social boundaries. They test what's acceptable. They signal rebellion, closeness, anger, humor, or emphasis, depending on how they're used. Another reason taboo words feel powerful is scarcity. When something is forbidden, it carries weight. If everyone used these words constantly, they would lose their impact. In fact, that's exactly what happens. Over time, once shocking words often become ordinary, and new taboos take their place. This cycle never stops. Languages constantly replace old, bad words with new ones. Not because the words themselves are special, but because societies always have boundaries they want to protect. So when you hear a curse word, you're not just hearing language, you're hearing history, culture, values, and social rules, all compressed into a sound. In the end, certain words become bad words because they touch on what a society finds sensitive, sacred, or harmful. Change the society, and the taboo changes too. Once you understand that, curse words stop feeling mysterious. They become markers, not of language, but of what we care about. This has been Questions Answered. Are there words that used to feel shocking, but don't anymore? Let me know in the comments. And if there's a question about language, culture, or everyday life you've always wondered about, suggest it below. It might become a future video. If you enjoy learning how everyday things work, consider subscribing to Questions Answered. Thanks for watching.